Hello everybody, welcome back to our channel, Economics again. Today we talk about how to use the GDP and GNI in the real world. In the real world, first we need to tackle one thing. It's the difference between nominal and real. It means that we talk about the average price level. Even if your GDP rises, but if your average price level rises more, your purchasing power is still decreasing, dropping. Your well-being is not improving. So we first talk about the concept of real and nominal. Nominal is the direct measurement, okay? The face value. So when we talk about real value, we want to adjust the nominal value by the average price level. If the average price level increases, the real value will be smaller than the nominal value, okay? For example, we have real GDP, okay? Is the nominal GDP adjusted by the change of average price level. So if we divide all this thing by the time, we find out the rate of change of a real value equals the rate of change of the nominal value minus rate of change of the average price level. And what's that? Inflation rate. Okay. So inflation rate is the rate of change of the average price level. Although the average price level is an art, okay, or politics, depends on the point of view. How to define which goods is important and absorb it, include it in the calculation of average price level, in what proportion. Sometimes it's quite outdated. It doesn't change so much, okay? So real GDP takes us away the change of average price level on nominal GDP. Yes, every real thing takes us away the average price level effects on from the nominal thing. Okay? And real GDP, we hope that it reflects the real output level of the economy, okay? So we think that real GDP is must be better than the nominal GDP. I'm sure better than, because it takes us away the inflation part. Okay. For increasing nominal GDP, okay, it looks good, but if the average price level increases faster than the nominal GDP, the real GDP still decreases, showing that the well-being of people living there is decreasing. Okay. So how to calculate in the paper fee, okay, or as an Excel calculation, okay? How to find GDP or GDP, and we call it the GDP deflator, okay? GDP deflator is a representation of the average price level. The base year is 100, okay? We define the base year as 100, easy to define. Larger than 100 is inflation, lower than 100 is being deflated, okay? So GDP deflator increases and decreases with the average price level afterward. Why we call it deflator? Because we need to divide it. Divide the nominal GDP by the GDP deflator. Sorry, it should be opposite. It should be multiplied by 100 and divided by the GDP deflator. It is the name come from. Okay. So when we want to find the real GDP, we divide the nominal GDP by the GDP deflator. So we call it deflator. Okay. Sorry, I beg your pardon. I apologize. Okay. And real economic growth is the real GDP now minus real GDP a year before. We talk about a year always. Okay. And over the original value. Remember? So real GDP a year before multiply 100%. If real GDP rises, economic growth, so means GDP drops, the economy shrink. Okay. Yeah. The real GDP growth is the real GDP. It's a real GDP growth rate. We hope that with the real GDP growth rate can measure the real economic growth. We hope so. Okay. But later on we talk about other factors, okay, affects economic growth, okay? And then it will be the nominal GDP growth rate minus the inflation. Easy to remember. Real equals nominal minus inflation rate. For nominal GDP growth rate to be positive, but if inflation rate is larger than the nominal GDP growth rate, the real GDP drops, okay? So the real economic growth rate is negative, okay? The economy shrink actually. Okay, now it's time. We want to have more exercise. So bring out your calculator. Try to answer this question, okay? It's purple, I know. It's more for HL and more for paper fee. In paper fee, okay? But you can get it. Okay, remember. But to look at it, a real GDP country A in 2019 and 2020. Remember, deflated, so divided by it, okay? So both are divided by it. 521 divided by 101, okay, less. 532 divided by 104 less, okay. And then use this real GDP, and then remember after minus in before and over before, okay. It's negative or it's shrinking. The economy is shrinking, okay. And comparing economic activity between country, okay. So we have a concept. First of all, maybe we call about exchange rate, right? Different country has this real GDP in their own currency, right? So we have to do the exchange rate adjustment, but sometimes the exchange rate fluctuate. Okay, so we want to have some more stable exchange rate to do the adjustment. Okay, so we call it the real purchasing power. Okay, real purchasing power. So first of all, we talk about per capita. Per capita first. Okay, maybe the country is big or small. We want to take away this population factor. So we call about not the whole GDP is used to compare. Is the per capita is important. Per capita means per person. So it's very easy divided by the population. Okay. So the real GDP per capita takes us away the size of population effects. Okay. Remember the real takes us away the inflation factor. Per capita takes us away the size of population factors. Okay. So it's a better reflection of the thing produced by each resident. Okay. So it's a better measure of the living standard of people there. And next one we call it purchasing power parity. Purchasing power parity is a theoretical exchange rate. Okay. That is to adjust the different currency in GDP measurement. Okay. Purchasing parity measures the price level in a country in reference to a specific good, maybe the hamburger price, right? Hamburger index, okay, because every place has a McDonald's hamburger, okay, or a specific basket of goods, okay. By purchasing power parity, the absolute purchasing power between currency are compared. For example, if a goods worth $10 in US and £5 in UK, so the exchange rate should be $2 to £1, right? Such that the same currency has the same purchasing power in US and the UK. But actually, it's hard to find out the same good, okay? Maybe McDonald's is okay. McDonald's is a good example because McDonald's everywhere has McDonald's. McDonald's hamburger is famous and they are the same. Okay, so it is the way the theoretical exchange rate for adjustment. Okay, so we call it purchasing power parity. Okay, by adjusting with this theoretical exchange rate, the GDP in different countries can be compared. So some are in US and some are in pound. Okay, by this purchasing power parity, they can all change to US or all change to pound. Okay. Working time. From the data above, we'll compare the absolute purchasing power of the two economy countries by using the price of X as reference of purchasing power parity. Say clearly about X, maybe hamburger. Maybe you about another goods, okay, they have different effects. Sometimes it's opposite. Okay. Okay, well, calculator. Try to work it. This is screen, so it's about SL has this mean too. Easier one. Pause and work on it. Welcome now it's time for checking your answer. Yes, at first one kuno is $1.25. You can do the opposite. Okay. $1 is 0.8 kuno. It's okay. And then you change all the thing in the dollars. Okay, so $112.5 billion. Okay, so B is larger than A. So B has a higher absolute purchasing power. Even if you change all the thing into kunos, okay, the same effects. Okay, still B is larger than that of A. Okay. So another one. Come on, again. Some more. A small developing country has population like this, okay, and then a GDP like this, okay, nominal, okay, and then okay, GDP is like this, okay, later, okay, inflation rate is like this, okay. Find the nominal GDP per capita first step, okay, and the real economic growth. So the first one doesn't need to be adjusted by this inflation rate. The second one needs to be, okay. Pause and work on it. Okay. Welcome back. Yes, that's it. Okay, first just divide 1,169. Okay, and the other is to the nominal change, nominal rate of change, and then minus the inflation rate. So it's negative. Oh, so the economy is shrinking. Actually, the real one. Okay. Short-term and long-term change of economic activity, up and downs of economy are natural for its growth. Okay. So we can't just go and never go. We need to go up and down, up and down. And but the business cycle, we always have a trend of going up. So the next trough is higher than the trough before. Okay? Next speed is also. So which part is also increasing? Okay? So it has a 4-step for a cycle. First, A is recovery. Okay, it comes out from the trough, and then economy is a growth, but if a higher and higher growing rate. Okay, increasing growing rate. So it's curve upward. And peak is the peak. Okay, boom. Okay, the maximum place. So where the change from increasing to decreasing of the real GDP. So the change of real GDP is approximately zero there. So and then it is a recession. Okay, 3 months of 3 months of consecutive economic growth is negative. Okay, and then the D is the trough, the minimum. Okay, also rate of change of GDP is zero as it is changing from decreasing to increasing. Okay. Okay, task one is the reading comprehension. We always happen in IB exam. Okay, we have the paragraph, a long paragraph, and then the question we ask you sketch a graph to show the present position of the economy in the business cycle. So you sketch the business cycle and point out where are we. Okay, and then they will say clearly, text A, paragraph 1. I just code it here. Okay, remember the 4 things. Okay, recovery, boom, recession, and trough. Where are we? Welcome back. Yes. Okay, you look record high. Wow, it should be good thing. But the growth rate drops to nearly zero, so it should be not recovery, the boom one at the top. Okay. So draw the business cycle, make it clearly that it has an upward trend. Okay. The next trough is higher than the previous trough. Next peak is higher than the previous peak, and whatever. Okay. And then using national income statistic to measure well-being. Okay, well-being is a concept, feeling. Okay? Well-being is feeling well. It is an experience of healthy happiness and prosperity. Okay, living standard measure the material parts of well-being. Good definition. Material parts of well-being. So the other is a non-material part. So living standard is measured by factors of income, gross domestic product, life expectancy, and economic opportunity. And you can see here again, GDP is just part of the material parts of well-being. So it's really a tiny part, not much. So we have another factor to measure well-being and living standard. Okay. And what is comparing well-being? What do you mean? It means that by the purchasing power curve, purchasing production possibility curve. Okay. So before we are within the PPC, okay, now we move out. So GDP increases, GDP per capita increases, and then the well-being increases, at least the material parts, okay, the living standard. And a real-world example, the GDP per capita varies with country. Yes, it ranges from less than $2,000 in Africa to more than $100,000 in the continental Europe, I mean per year, okay. In different researches that scan Europe, it's always the highest living standard, Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden. Okay. On the contrary, the country in sustained political turmoil or civil wars, for example, Afghanistan, Chad, and Yemen, are always at the bottom of the living standard. Very sad story. Okay. And in China is booming. Okay. In 1992 or like 2000, okay, it is an average 10% rise in the GDP or GNP in per capita of China. So China is people getting more money to spend, and the living standard and well-being improved a lot every year, 10%. Okay. So how to compare well-being between countries? Remember, use the real thing. Remember, use the purchasing power parity to compare the theoretical, adjust by the theoretical exchange rate. Okay. And after all this doing, then you have to still think about how the GDP comes out. Okay. They use different way to calculate the national income statistic. Maybe sometimes it's contradictory, so we have to adjust it for the way for the methodology too. Okay. And then alternative measure of well-being. Remember, well-being is feeling. Okay. Right? And then there's a living standard, is the material part. And then this material part has a small part, is GDP. So we include more of it, okay, to describe the well-being, not just the GDP. But absolutely, GDP, I'm sure, is a candidate, okay, component, okay. So what's the limitation of GDP? First of all, GDP ignore the distributional issue, okay. About the equality of distribution of income is ignored in GDP. Just talk about average, okay. And GDP also provides information for the composition of output, just about output is how many money. primary goods more, secondary goods more, or tertiary goods more, or service more. And GDP and GNI that accounts for quality improvement. Okay, for example, improves quality of products. Okay, they don't care about it; they care about the price. Okay, and GDP does not consider the non-market outputs, such as the parallel market, the underground market, the black market, okay, or the DIY market, or subsistence farming. Okay, and GDP and GNI does not account for non-monetary factors of living standard. For example, health, leisure, and education, crime rates, and political stability. So all these things will be included in other index. Okay, and GDP does not consider environmental degradation. Environmental degradation is considered. So first of all, this one first. Environmental degradation is just a negative externality, so just subtract it. Subtract the degradation from the GDP, and we got the green GDP. Okay, green gross domestic product. Just subtract the GDP by the environmental cost of production. So we get rid of the negative externality of environmental problems. Okay, and OECD have a better life index. Okay, and this life index has something called about 11 aspects: housing, income, jobs, community, education, environment, civil engagement, health, lifestyle selection, safety, and work-life balance. A lot of factors. You can see GDP is the first three, maybe okay, housing, income, and jobs. Green GDP include the environmental, but it has far more things. Okay, so it's another index, and it also have a low overall index. Okay, they want it to be compared for every aspect. So every country has 11 numbers. Okay, 0 to 10. 10 is highest. Okay? And the happiness index is famous too. It's by the United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. It's talk about how the world is implementing the Sustainable Development Goal and then the Paris Agreement on carbon dioxide emission. Okay, cut down, of course. And the survey has 6 aspects. Look at the GDP per capita. Yeah, social support, health, life expectancy, freedom to make life choices, generosity, and perception of corruption. All these things. The first one is the GDP, right? The other one is another kind of measurement of the living standard or well-being. And we have a happy planet index. Okay, it's by left. Okay. And then this index talk about sustainable well-being. Okay, the long, happy, and sustainable lives. Okay, it's a life performance groups. Okay, the highest group is for HPI above something. The lowest group is below something. Okay, happy. Thank you for joining with me. Okay, if you like your sharing, remember like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Okay, share with. Looking for you guys in next video. Okay, see you.